So in 2004, you released the album My Kind of Evil. This features vocals from Colin James. How does he come into the picture?
Well, okay, so I do have to add in an album in between just because it's goes
Ties
into
into the
the
story.
answer to this question. Yeah. So in 2002, I released an album called Bogart's Bounce, and that was the first time I worked with Kim Wilson from the Fabulous Thunderbirds, which was huge. You know, enormous thing happening for me when I'm like 21 years old. I had asked him, "Hey, can I? Do you want to be on my record?" And I'm a kid, like I'm a kid asking a literal rock star who's been like top of the charts, all the big late night shows, "Do you want to be on my record?" And he said, "Oh, I'm really busy right now. I don't think I can do it." So I asked his piano player, Gene Taylor, who played with James Harmon and all these the Blasters and all these big bands, and Gene said he would do it. So Kim got wind of that, and then one day I get a call from Kim Wilson, and he goes, "Hey, I've been thinking about that, and I'd like to help you out." And I said, "What? Okay, what's it going to cost me?" He goes, "Well, here's what I charge BB King," and it was something like $2,000 a day or $5,000 a day, minimum of 2 days, flights, accommodations, blah blah blah. And and he said that to me. I was like, but he goes, "I don't expect that from you. How about this? Fly me up there and, get my hotel. And if you can pay me something, cool. If you can't, don't worry about it. I just want to help you out." And I was like, what is happening? And so when this happened, I remember I did an interview with the Edmonton Journal at the time. And, and it was like this, that became the story. Like the Fabulous Thunderbirds are helping JW Jones. Like this is, and then that's when things started to really open up and people were taking notice of what we were doing. And so Kim was on that album, came up. We did 2 nights at the Rainbow. My band backed him up. And my band at the time had Matt Saub, for example, who's from Monkey Junk. And so we did 2 nights with Kim, and then a year later we did the same thing. He came up and we did 2 nights again. And then he said to me, "Hey, I want to produce your next record. Let's make one." I was like, "Okay." And then I said, "Well, what do you think about getting Colin James on it?" And he said, "I love Colin. I worked with him on one of his records, and wherever they were, Hawaii or something like that." And okay, great. So now that I had worked with Kim, I have a little bit more, I don't know, name recognition involved. So I went to Colin's management and I said, "Kim Wilson is producing our record and we would like Colin James to come and sing on it." And they were like, "Sure." It's like, what is happening? So he flew here from Vancouver to sing 2 songs. And so that's how that happened. And then I'm in the studio sitting back as Kim and Colin talk about, all their history together, all their common friends, like Chuck Leavell from the Rolling Stones and the Allman Brothers, and like just incredible. And Colin, like literally first take, perfect. Like that guy is a machine, man. Like first take, it was done. It's like, okay, that took 5 minutes, so incredible, man. He's awesome.
I've seen him live in Ottawa, and man, he's such a great vocal. Like he's a great guitarist, he's great everything, but his vocals just, a lot of people can sing, but he just has such an incredible voice, just a warm voice, a powerful voice, a pleasant voice. Just like, you have singers like Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. Like he can sing, he's just not blessed with the most pleasant of voices. The opposite of that is Colin James, where it's just this warm, rounded, incredible voice.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and he can turn the rasp in his voice on and off like a switch. And a lot of people, they can only do that if they're really warmed up or they're hitting the higher range of their vocal capability, and with him, it's like he can just like go, it's on there and get the, and it's just like, oh man, that's so friggin' cool. So yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that you checked out the interview with Chris Cadell, and he plays with Colin James when he tours, and Chris asked him for advice on warming up, and basically, apparently, Colin James is just singing all the time, like all day, every day. He's just always singing, so he's always warmed up. So
Yeah, I remember seeing Colin at the Rainbow. He did this like club tour once, and it was just before or just after we recorded together. I can't remember. And I watched him from side stage the entire show. And there was a bottle of water sitting beside his like pedal board or whatever. He didn't take one sip of water for like an hour and a half. And I said to him after, I said, "You didn't drink water that entire show?" He goes, "No, I guess I didn't." It's like, okay. Like,